What's up, Vanguards? This is Boo Boo here. Welcome back for another video. In this video, I'll be going over through an overview of Update 1. I'll be addressing most of the important part of this update, and I'll be putting up a timestamp for each of these patch notes. So if you would like to skip through some other patch notes that you don't care about, and you just want to go specifically for a specific changes that they made, could be either units or the new tournament or the stat reroll, whatever. But yeah, let's get right into it. First, I want to talk about the new content and new rework that they have done for Paragon. The new content they have added is a mode called tournaments. Tournament is where you compete with other people in a specific or in a certain time, which is 20 minutes. The higher score you have, the higher ranking you get, and the higher rank you have, the better reward you get. Now, tournament has two different modes. One is with traitless and another one is traits enable. Traitless is added in order to make it fair for other people that hasn't spent money on the game, whereas they could lag in like Monarch, like traits like Deadeye, Ethereal, any of the strong traits. They will have a lot more advantage in the traits enabled, so that they made a mode called traitless where none of the units will have traits, and it'll solely depend on how you play the game. The new content they have added is a new story mode, a new legend stages. In the new story mode, you could get a item in the last stage. This item is used in order to obtain and evolve Toji. In the new legend stages, you get 3 different materials for ascension and evolution for 3 new units. One of them is going to be Choso, another one is going to be Jogo, and the last one is going to be Toto. That's all for the new content they have added. They have reworked Paragon so that the modifiers are a little bit changed up. I'll be talking through the rework. They have changed Paragon where now they have removed normal mode. So you can only pick nightmare mode where you have to pick a modifier on each level. And they have changed the format of picking modifiers, where when you first enter a Paragon, you're going to have a starting cards. This starting cards consist of Exploding, Revitalize, Thrice, Quake, Immunity, and Champions. Now, after you beat the first stage, you get additive cards, where these are a little bit more weaker side modifier, but it will still make it a lot more difficult as you rack it up. These additive cards are going to be Strong, Regeneration, Shield, Speed, Dodge, and Drowsy. Now, I'm going to be talking about each of these modifiers and the changes they have for old modifiers, and I'm going to be talking about the new ones. So let's just get right into it. Now, with all the new modifier, there's going to be a new one called Quake. Now, Quake is where units will now quake every 5 seconds, which stuns the surrounding units. Now, just think of this as a more annoying version of an explosion. So you want to avoid this modifier as much as you can. The next one is going to be Immunity, where they're immune to crowd control effects such as stun, slow, push. Now, this makes it so that debuffer units are a lot more unviable in these Paragons, so you just want to avoid that modifier. And the last the new starter modifier is going to be Champions. Now, this is an interesting one, as a mini boss spawns every 6 waves, and these mini bosses are the bosses from Act 1 to Act 5. Now, these mini bosses has a reduced HP, as they have a lower HP than the normal one. And that's all the new starter modifier that you could get. There's 2 new addition modifiers that you can get. One of them is going to be Dodge, where enemies have 4% chance to dodge per card. That means that if you have picked this card 25 times, they have a 100% chance in order to dodge the unit's attack. This means that you cannot win the game. So you just want to avoid the dodge modifier as much as you can. Another one's going to be Drowsy, where the unit SPA increases 4% per card. That means that the more drowsy you have, the slower the units that your units are going to attack. Very simple. Now, they have reworked some old cards that they had. Revitalization now has 7.5% health regeneration, whereas now Strong now grants enemies 10% more health per card. Before the patch, I think it was 100%, which is double the HP. Regeneration now heals 0.4% every second per card. As far as I remember, I'm pretty sure it was 0.2%, so they got a 0.2 buff or nerf. Shield now only grants 1 shield per card. That is huge. that means 3 shield modifier is equivalent to 1 shield, the 1 old shield modifier. So I think you want to pick shield modifier from now on instead of regeneration, as it got nerfed. Speed now grants 5% speed per card. I'm not sure what it was before, but I think it's a nerf as far as I remember. But that's all the new rework and the new cards they have added in Paragon. But that's all for the new content they have added and changed. So let's get on to the new units. Now we're going to be talking about units. They have added 13 new units in total. They have added 1 new epic unit, Nezuko. They have added 2 legendary unit, Inumaki and Nobra. They've added 5 new mythic units, and they all have their own evolution, except Itadori, where I think they're going to come out maybe this upcoming week or next week, I'm not sure. Toto has a evolution where he swaps their position within his range. Choso just has a bleed full AoE in his evolution. Jago is just a very good bleed, or not bleed, fire unit. Itadori is, as far as I know, is going to be Sukuna, but we don't know yet how to evolve or even if it is evolvable. And the last one is Gojo, where if he evolves into a secret, and I think he's the #1 meta DPS as of now, as I see in some videos of him. Now there's 5 new exclusive units. One of them is going to be Toji, where you can obtain from the stage 6, where you have to complete the quest line where you get for the item. Julius is a battle pass exclusive, so you just have to reach level 25 and you just get his normal variation. If you have the premium one, you get the shiny version. Now Mekamaru and Mahito is a tournament reward, but if you see in the game, in tournament you get Mekamaru as a reward, and the leaderboard you get Mahito as a leaderboard unit. So I'm not sure what's going on with that, but as it is in the patch note, it says tournaments. And we see here that they have added Legendary Super Saiyan Broly. Now, I'm not sure how you could get him. It says here the leaderboard, so I'm guessing that in the upcoming leaderboard reward, it's going to be Legendary Super Saiyan Broly. Now, he could be really strong. As of now, we have no data or no video of him or any proof where he is, but in the patch note it says he is added. So maybe in the upcoming week, you might see him in the leaderboard reward. But as of now, that's all the new units. Now let's get into a new feature, which is new unit elements. Now we'll be talking about unit elements. Now there's 10 new elements in the game. I'll be listing them by just bullet points. There is fire, water, nature, spark, holy, curse, unbound, blast, cosmic, and passion. Now, I'll be reading through the description of each of these elements and what they do. And of course, there's elemental weakness in some of the enemies. So some of the element does extra damage to those specific elemental enemies. Now, fire, this is one of the strong elements as I see right now, is immune to snare. Now, snare is a debuff to a unit where you need a specific ability, as in this, it will be Sakura, where it cleanse. You need someone in order to cleanse, in order to get rid of snare, as it permanently stuns the unit. Now that the fire is immune to stun, you don't need that unit, as such as Rengoku or Obito. Water is immune to SPA debuff. That is pretty strong, but I don't think it's that strong compared to fire. Nature is immune to range debuff. I don't know any enemies that debuffs range, but that is also useful. Spark is immune to damage debuff. That is pretty huge, as damage debuff is really annoying as it decreases your overall DPS. And Holy reduces time of debuff by 10%. It's useful, it's not game changing, but it's nice to have. Curse is a damage plus 5% when attacking a boss. So this could be more specifically for boss killer, such as Igris or Sun Jimu. They're not a boss killer, but now they do a lot more damage to the boss. And actually, Igris is a boss killer, as he does extra damage to the boss. Another one is going to be Unbound. They have their crit rate increased by 5%. Not a huge change, but it's nice to have. Blast ignores 10% of enemy damage reduction. Now, it's an alright buff, I guess, but it's not as huge as fire or spark. Cosmic damage plus 10% on placement. That's pretty good, as you get 10% more damage, and more damage is much more nicer to have. And the last one is going to be Passion, where it has increased dodge chance by 10%. Now, this could be useful in some cases, but you're basically relying on RNG, and I doubt it becomes consistent. So there could be some tier lists for each of these elements, but I'm not going to be making them right now, as I'm just trying to talk about the changes, the new addition they have added to the new update. But that's all there is to elements. Now, let's get into the less important stuff, or I mean, it is important, but much more less important than the other ones. We'll go through Curse Shop and Gold Shop. Now, Curse Shop is where you get to exchange the new Curse Finger, where you get from the new Infinite mode. You get Curse Finger for killing Sukuna, I'm pretty sure. And you could exchange these fingers for the new evolution item for Gojo as a 6-eye. And you could change these for either stat chips or evolution materials, any of those good stuff. You could get it from the Curse Shop. Now, Gold Shop is somewhat similar. You get to spend your gold in order to get XP items, evolution items, stats, all the good stuff. It's a very nice addition to the game, but not game breaking or not anything huge. That's all there is to Gold Shop and Curse Shop. Now we'll be talking about new changes to the stat reroll and stat transfer. Now, in the new edition of stat reroll and transfer, there is a new addition as transfer. Now, stat reroll, there wasn't very much big changes to it, as they just only added a index to see the percentage of what each of those specific stats could get up to, such as godly or D or A or any of those. And for stat transfer, this is actually a new one, as you could transfer a unit. So it's not like AA where it's like a chance to transfer. This is guaranteed, but you're basically sacrificing that old units, ascensions, levels, traits, everything about that unit is getting just erased. But you get their stats transferred into the new unit that you want to transfer into. Now, this is somewhat useful, and I didn't know that it completely deletes like ascensions and stuff, so I might have used my Chain in order to make my Gojo better, but it also kind of made my Chain level 1, so I gotta just watch out for that. That's all there is to basically the stat reroll and transfer. Now, the next thing we could talk about is just like a little bit of small addition that I think it is nice to have. Now, they have added 7 new profile banner, as you could get 3 of those for completing achievement of a unit achievement. Now, there's new achievements for specific units. There's only 3 of them as of now, but there are some new achievement, which is Train Station Massacre, Prideful Prince, Shadow Commander, Vengeful Prodigy, Bird of Hermes, Knucklehead Ninja, Eyes of Despair, Dancers in Battle. Now, each of these new achievements is, I'm pretty sure it's for units, like a specific unit achievement, except Train Station Massacre. Train Station Massacre is a new achievement that you get after completing all the new story mode in Nightmare. You get some rerolls and some gems, but each of these other new achievement is probably specifically for unit achievement. As of now in the game, there's only 3, but I'm pretty sure they'll be adding more as we go on. The next thing I want to talk about is some changes, like a small change. They have changed the unit level cap to level 50 to level 60, so they added 10 more levels. That's really nice. They have changed the damage typing rework, as there is no more physical or magical, as back in AA there used to be magical or physical, where each of those elements does more damage, but now they have changed that in order to reflect on the elements of the unit. So think of as these elementals, it's more like a Anime Last Stand elemental wise, as each of these elements does extra damage to specific elements. And that's, oh, and I forgot about the reward changes on Paragon. So they have added 5% more gold and gems for each Paragon level cleared, 1 stat trips every 5 level cleared, 1 super stat chips every 8 level cleared. And now you get 3 trait rerolls every 10 levels cleared. That's a lot, but for 10 levels, I think it's a little bit on the low side. So I think they should change it to 5, but it is what it is. And you get 3 to 6 stage XP items. It's a nice addition. And the last one I'll be probably talking about is going to be unit evolution changes. Now, this is pretty significant as it is a lot more easier to get the godly rarity stats, as you just only need about like Z plus or Z. Now, before, once you evolved a unit, their stat didn't change at all. But now, as is similar to anime defenders, they made it so that if you evolve your units, they have a better stat than before. Maybe like 2 or 1 level up, I'm pretty sure. But I don't know the specific detail, but that's all there is to the new update that is significant. There are some bug fixes and some other like settings changes they have added. I'll be leaving the document down in the comment section, but that's all the most important part of the update, and I think the most intriguing part of the update. But that's all I have for today's video, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please let me know down in the comment section if you have any questions. I'll be willing to help. The Discord link is in the comment or in the description. So that's all it for today, and I'll see you in the next video.